Houdini 22 is here, and we need to address the elephant in the room, which is the UI has been updated. So let's take a look at some of the new UI stuff and how we can customize it and some of the other new things that come with it. So from the start, the first thing that you should notice is that we've got a new start screen, which has some of your previous projects. It's got project templates. This stuff, I believe, is stuff that they can change on the fly. So I think this is kind of talking to their servers is what I heard, I believe, if I remember right. And so I think they can change this and add news to this and stuff so that you can get some news delivered directly to your Houdini startup. Obviously, you can turn this off if you want, but I'm going to go ahead and just close out of that for the moment. I've got my Houdini set to start in Solaris, but you'll have it set to the build context when you first launch. So let's come up to this edit, and then let's come to preferences. This is the first thing that you should take a look at. The UI, we have the option to use the old UI if you would like. Now, personally, my opinion, the first thing that I notice with the UI is that it is different and it makes everything look new. So even the old features kind of look new, and even some of the icons are different. So there are some new things to it, but it makes everything look new. So it's very hard to kind of dissect what is actually new versus what just has gotten a reskin. So that may throw you off to begin with, but I would recommend just getting used to this UI because as it says here, the old UI is deprecated and it's going to be removed in a later version. However, you can use this just for the time being. If you want to use the old UI, you can use that. Now, I had my UI scale set to, I've got a 1440p ultra wide monitor. So I had my in 21 set to 1.1 UI scale. And in this one, I need to set it to 1.2 to have it feel kind of somewhat the same. I feel like the text is all a little bit smaller in this. So that's something you're just gonna have to get used to. It's kind of hard to get like the text size to scale up without it having anything without having everything be huge, I guess. So we also have in here the syntax colors, so you can change these as well. So for like your Vex stuff, there's some different things you can click through here. You can change these if you want. I think this has been in Houdini, but I just wanted to point that out there as well. I think there was something else new in here that I wanted to look at, but I don't remember exactly what it was. Because let's move on to the colors now. So if we come to edit, we can come to our color theme, and this is where things kind of get really kind of interesting here. So I've created my own custom theme here. This is what I'm using. And I'm going to go ahead and click on the swatches, and this kind of brings up like the power of this. So by default, I think it's set to, I don't know if it's set to I think it's just set to default desaturated here. You can customize all these. So if you take this, you can select duplicate as, and you can create your own. You can see that I have stuff kind of changing here in this window, but the rest of my UI is staying with the theme that I have. If you want to preview it in your actual like full Houdini, you can click this preview button and it's going to update everything for you. So we can preview between these. There's a bunch of different themes in here. That one's terrible. I don't know who uses these light themes, but not my cup of tea. I really like this one, the Mako Mari. This one's pretty cool. Kind of like a dark one. There's like a band t-shirt one. This one's kind of fun. This one's very, very dark. But let's go ahead. I'm going to switch back to the one that I had. I'm going to use this untitled one here that I was messing with. So let's go ahead and preview this. You can change all of your colors with the swatches. We also can switch between the light and the dark. I don't know why anyone would choose the light mode, but whatever you want to do. And we can change our colors in here. So if I wanted to change up the UI completely, get some like Christmas colors in there. We also have these sliders, so we can change these around. And you can see that that's what that is affecting. And then we can also come to this tweaks. And this is where things kind of get a little bit interesting, in my opinion, because we can really kind of control things. Let's just set down like a stop create, something that has some buttons on it so we can see what's going on. So I'm going to click preview. So we can play with our theme contrast here. And you can see that's going to affect the contrast of our text. We have this secondary chroma, which is controlled by this accent color. So if I increase this, you can see these buttons down here changing. So as we increase this, they become more saturated. We have our text saturation. We can also control our button brightness, our field brightness, our pane dividers, which is not easy to see until I click preview here, and then it changes there. I'm gonna go ahead and just revert like all of these, preview that back. We can invert checked toggles, so you can see what this is doing here, as well as these toggle checkboxes. We can also change the way that our buttons and our tabs work, our toggles work. They all affect things differently depending on what you've got. You can have your unchecked toggles, controlling kind of like the background. And then I haven't really messed with that much. So I'm not sure exactly what that applies to. So that's kind of the gist of that. We can also randomize this. You can get all sorts of different things in here, you know, get totally different looks to your UI. Not something that I would probably play with too much, but I mean, I guess if you aren't really sure what to set, maybe play around with some things and then figure out which one that you like. So I'm gonna go ahead and click cancel. We'll go back to our normal one. There's also a couple of other things that we have that are new. Let's dive inside of a CopNet here. I'm going to drop down a ramp, an RGB ramp. And we have this little button here. Let's make a copy of this. Actually, we've got two little buttons here. So if I click on this one, you can see that this is the new, new ramps selection box. If I click this little button right here, or I think you can right click. I don't know, you have to click that little button. We have the default ramp presets, and then we've got some different ones for terrains. So you can see what this is doing. So these are nice. I think you can create your own ones as well. So lots of different things in here. So if you find one that you like, and then you think this is maybe a little bit too noisy, or maybe like this one's a little bit too noisy, we can come into this second button right here, click on this, and then we've got the adaptive as well as this uniform. So you can see that we've got 334 points in this ramp. As we start to bring this down, it's going to adaptively sample that. So if we bring this all the way down, you're going to get it's going to grab like the endpoints. So it's going to try to match colors, I believe, with this adaptive one. We also have this uniform one so that we kind of uniformly reduce the number of points here. And so if we get something that we like here, maybe we want like this, and click confirm, you can see that this has kind of cleaned up our ramp and give us a different look to our ramp. We also, if we come into one of these color pickers, if I click on this, it takes a second to load up. And then we've got some different things here. So we've got, first of all, we can pick an ACES. We can pick in sRGB and whatever we want. I'm in ACES, so I've got, I would want to set this to be in ACES. And we've got our temperature that we can affect. We've got different shades of this. We can also do color harmony, which is fun. So we can pick a color and we get this kind of harmonious color. You can also mess with the blends. So there's lots of different things. This is totally new. We've also got color palettes here. So different things in here. These are kind of nice. And then you can also sample an image, which is pretty cool as well. So I wonder if we you should be able to, I guess this is a labs thing. I don't know if we can like sample like an entire ramp. I didn't look into that, but you can, sample a color from an image if you want as well, which is pretty sweet. The other thing that I want to take a look at real quick here is, let's just drop down like the rubber toy here, is this new geometry spreadsheet. So this got a lot of love in 22. So you notice we have this little section over here, which is kind of our like tree that we would have like our scene graph path and a SOP create. So we can, if we check that little box right there, it's going to get rid of that. We go back to somewhat of a normal, what we're used to in Houdini, but I'm going to leave that checked. We have these new USD nodes, which we'll take a look at in the future. But if we have this USD create component, if I just select this create component now, you can see that we have this actual path here that we're getting. I can even wire this into the proxy, and then we get a render and then a proxy in here. And then we also have all of our different attributes here of our geometry. So everything's kind of the same, that we have our points, we have our prims, and our detail and vertex and all this stuff here. And so we also have the ability to control the colors here, which is pretty nice. So if I come to click on this little icon right here, we can come down to the colors. And by default, I think it's set to white. So everything's going to kind of look like this. But if we want, we can change it to alternating gray. So we get some kind of like separation between the attributes. We can also set this to rainbow, which is pretty nice. And we can set it to attribute type. So if we do something like an attribute create here, so we've got this float attribute in here now. So that is this kind of bluish color. We can set it to an integer, which I guess keeps that color. Vector gives us a green, so no separation between the two, but it's going to be just by the attribute type itself. Or like a string, we get this orange value. So pretty cool stuff that we can control all that. The rainbow is pretty nice. That way you have a nice little like separation between your attributes. And then you can set the hue too. So you can really kind of dial this in and customize this quite a bit, which is pretty interesting that they gave us this level of control with our attribute spreadsheet. I'm going to leave that on attribute type, but that is kind of a quick look at the UI. There are some new looking buttons. So everything's kind of been reworked. And obviously your theme is going to have, your color theme is going to have a big impact on how your Houdini looks. So I guess that's something we're just going to have to kind of get used to, and you'll have to get used to with, watching videos if you're watching videos. So everything is still there. It's just kind of looks a little bit different, and it is off-putting in my opinion at the start. It just kind of makes everything look new, but you do get used to it. I'm pretty used to it now. I've just been using it for a few hours over the past day or so. So hopefully this has got you up to speed with the new UI. Again, color themes, pretty fun to play with. Lots of different things that you can get in there. You can actually share these too as well. I think you just right click. Yeah, if you right click on a custom one, you can edit the name of it. You can duplicate it, delete it, or you can reveal the file where it's saved on disk, and it's all like JSON stuff. So then you can just pass that off to a colleague or whatever as well if you're interested in that. But pretty cool stuff. Anyways, hopefully this helps you out. Thank you guys for watching. I am looking forward to doing more with Houdini 22. We'll be having lots of different stuff coming out over the coming days on that. So stick around if you're interested in watching any of that and learning more about the new features that have come out. But thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.